Someone's O has got to go in this one, and someone is getting a shot at a title in 2026.
Round one underway, our main event. Diego Pacheco, Kevin Lele Sadjo, and promises to
that
be
left uppercut right down the middle, just like that. He almost landed it right there, or he's not going to be ready for the moment. But Pacheco
wraps a nice right hand around the guard of Sadjo, bangs the body of Pacheco, and tries to bull his way to the inside.
McCumbee got stopped, but it was in a championship level fight with Caleb Plant, where he was able to draw right hand as well.
And correct me if you think I'm wrong, Sergio, but like a good shot from Sadjo there. But it gets
20 seconds of round four.
Chinese food and friends.
That's right. Cuisine is global, Sergio. Bruce Mannix, how do you have this one scored so far?
I've got it 4 rounds to 1 in favor of Diego Pacheco.
Body shot there for Pacheco. Big left hook from Sadjo!
That's a knockdown.
That is a knockdown!
I'm telling you, man, Pacheco is not there. His
and that left hook,
there.
He might not be there, and that left hook opened up a cut. In a fight that looked like it might kind of lumber the distance, Sadjo is unloading bombs here in the 8th round. And in addition to these power shots, Sergio, I think Sadjo has succeeded in frustrating
of Diego Pacheco. He's going to need to hear some things in between rounds, because this fight just got very dicey for him, and there is a long
with a fighter that short. Fighting tall could actually be detrimental to you. Joe, I haven't seen Pacheco try to back up.
Nice right hand there from Sadjo.
Chemistry between them is not there. I don't think it's Pacheco's not really.
Look at this exchange. Sadjo just letting. Big nice right hand there from Sadjo.
In a physical dogfight like this. With all
left hook connects there from Pacheco
to land a quick jab to the head clean. Need to see Sadjo. He's going to find it.
Nice right hand there from Pacheco, and a right hand to the body as well.
It was a short right hand. He didn't pull that right back. He got an angle and threw a short right hand. I think he finally got something from Sadjo.
Here we go. This is the rally that Pacheco has been looking for. Pacheco turning it all around here in the 11th.
It all started with that short right hand. He got an angle and finally landed a short six-inch punch that he got. But it wasn't the punch or the power. It was the angle that actually surprised and hurt Sadjo.
How do you have it so far?
Yeah, I've got it in favor of Diego Pacheco, 106.
To be told to hunt for a knockout. That is his intention.
It's that catching Sadjo off guard. And that's when you need to get
final moments.
Still getting hit with looping shots as Pacheco towards the end.
It was unpleasant at times for Diego.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here in Stockton, we go to the judges' score totals. Karen Holderfield, 117-110. Rudy Barragan, 116-111. Fernando Villarreal, 115-112. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated in the WBC Silver and WBO International Super Middleweight Champion, Diego Pacheco.
So Diego Pacheco picks up the unanimous decision victory. Not exactly a look of excitement on his face right now, Sergio, and it was a bit of a mixed reaction from the audience here as well.
115, 112 is too close for comfort. That was a disappointing victory, and I could see why Pacheco is not satisfied. There's a little smirk coming from him, just being relieved, but he needs to get better. He needs to find a way to get back to his knockout ways, because this is not the way he needs to be going, the trajectory he needs to be a champion.
All right, let's hear from Diego. He's standing by with Chris Mannix.
Well, Diego, congratulations. You stay undefeated. You knew this was going to be a physical fight. Was it the fight you expected out there?
Yeah, definitely the fight I expected. You know, Kevin Sadjo is here for a reason. You know, he's a great fighter, great warrior. But, you know, tonight I proved that, you know, I'm built for this, and whatever style comes my way, I'll be ready to handle it.
You seem to be in control of the first few rounds, operating behind that jab, keeping him at the distance. He seemed to be able to break that distance in those middle rounds. What changed for you in the middle of this fight?
You know, just adjusting. You know, he was coming in with his head a lot, and his head was staying on my chest, so it was a little difficult for me to work in there, but, making adjustments through the rounds, my corner guided me through the fight. We made good adjustments, and we came out with the win.
We haven't seen you on the deck before as a professional. What were you thinking when you got knocked down?
It's part of the sport, it's never happened to me ever in my life, but, I've always mentally prepared for whenever it did happen. It's part of the sport. I knew one day it was a possibility that it would happen, and he kind of caught me while I was throwing a punch as well, off balance, so I wasn't hurt or anything. It was just, off balance, knocked down, but, I got back up, I was good to go, and I kept fighting.
You finished the fight pretty strong, sort of creating more of that distance. What was the finish like for you?
I'm a guy who I usually win the rounds pretty clearly, so I knew the rounds were a little close, so I just knew I had to pick it up a little bit, and that's what I did. I picked it up and made sure we came out with the W.
You're a young guy, still learning, working with a new trainer, full-time trainer for this fight. What do you take away from this fight that you need to improve on?
A lot of things, to be honest. Right now I got to go back and watch the fight, and for sure, we're going to be back in the gym working and making sure we clean up some of those little flaws.
You're improving and a young guy, but you're right in line for a major fight in 2026. We've heard some big names connected to you over the last couple of weeks. What's the name that you're looking for next year?
I think the fight that interests me the most right now is Jaime Munguia. He's a great fighter, a great Mexican warrior, and I feel like that's the fight I'm missing right now to really get to that stardom.
Sounds like a pretty good LA fight to me.
Yes, sir. Back home in LA, I know all the fans would love that fight in LA, and it's all up to my team, Eddie Hearn, and my promotion to make that happen.
Congratulations, Diego.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Eddie, we'll turn to you. Let's start with the performance from Diego. What did you think?
You know what? So many box ticks tonight. He's 24 years old. Nobody wants to fight Kevin Sadjo. He's a nightmare. You saw that. He got dropped. He come back. He nearly stopped Sadjo at the back end of the fight. He'll learn so much from that. I think he can be better. I think he knows that. But sometimes you've got to have nights at the office like that where you come through the other side. And, a lesser fighter, a lesser man with lesser heart and lesser ability would have got beat tonight. But at 24 years of age, I think this guy solidifies himself as one of the future of the 168-pound division. He's right. He needs that big fight now because he's ticked all the boxes. Steve Nelson, Trevor McCumbee, Kevin Sadjo. Where else do you go? So for me, and listen, sometimes I was sitting there saying to the guys, sometimes you get dropped. Those guys, all of a sudden, that might not have taken the fight before, might decide they want to take the fight. Hamza Shiraz, particularly Jaime Munguia. That's a fight that would fill up the stadium in Los Angeles. That's the fight we really want. He's done all the apprenticeship you need. He's ticked all the boxes. Time to roll the dice in a big fight for Diego Pacheco. He deserves it. He got off the deck tonight, came back strong and beat a very good fighter.
I know you've had some conversations with Munguia's team. How realistic is that for next year?
Listen, you can't make someone fight. At the end of the day, if you want the challenge, if you want to get paid, if you want to roll the dice in a big fight on a big night, let's do it. But we're not limited to Jaime Munguia. Like I said, there's Hamza Shiraz out there as well. There's Charlo. There's loads of fighters at 168 pounds. I just feel that as a promoter, when you got Diego Pacheco from South Central LA, you've got Jaime Munguia, who's a tremendous Mexican fighter, we can bring a big fight to Los Angeles, and I believe it's time.
Appreciate it, Eddie.
Cheers.
Sorry, one more thing from Diego.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to thank Stockton for the love, support ever since I got here. You guys received us with open arms, and I want to say I appreciate everyone who made it out tonight from LA, from all over the country. Thank you guys for the support, and I want to give a big shout out to my guardian angels up in heaven. My brother Manuel Pacheco, who's my guardian angel, keeping me safe and prepared every fight, and also my really close person to me who is like my grandma that I never had, who passed away yesterday. I just want to say I love her and all my family who made it out, and is here supporting me. Apart from my grandma who passed away yesterday, everyone still kept their hearts, their head up and kept pushing me and didn't bring it down. So I just want to say I love you, Guadalupe, and rest in peace.
Appreciate it, Diego.